You need to understand something right now. The very fact that you are sitting here, breathing, reading these words is not an accident. Some people go through life thinking that everything that happens to them is random. That life just occurs without reason, that people are born and they die, and somewhere in between, they maybe figure things out. But that is not the truth for you. You are not born to drift. You are not born to stumble from opportunity to opportunity like a leaf in the wind. There's a spark inside you, a fire that has been placed there intentionally, and it is your job to discover it, to honor it, to align with it, and to act on it. Your spirit, the real you, the part of you that nobody else can touch or understand fully already knows the way. It has been trying to communicate with you since the day you were born, through your dreams, your desires, your intuition, and your restless nights. That voice, that pull, that inner compass is not random. It is a signal from the part of you that is aligned with purpose. And it is trying to get your attention. Too many people ignore it. Too many people say, I don't know what I want. Or, I am just trying to survive. But surviving is not the purpose. Living day to day without knowing why you are here is the opposite of living. And I am here to tell you that you do not have to stay in that place. You were created with intention, with a mission, with a spiritual blueprint that only you can fulfill. Think about this. If everything in life were random and there were no order to creation, why would you have moments where everything aligns perfectly for you? Why would you feel drawn to certain people, certain passions, certain ideas that just click in a way nothing else does? That is not coincidence. That is purpose speaking to you. That is your spirit nudging you forward, saying, pay attention. I've been guiding you all along. You have to stop looking for external validation for your worth, for your path, for your significance. The truth is already inside you. Your spirit already knows. And the moment you recognize that, the moment you start trusting that inner guidance more than the noise of the world, you will begin to walk a path that is uniquely yours. And so how do you start listening? How do you begin to honor the purpose that is already in you? First, you must be willing to be still. In a world that rewards speed, activity, and constant movement, stillness is revolutionary. When you are still, you begin to hear that whisper that has always been trying to reach you. It is in the silence of the morning, the quiet moments before everyone else wakes up, the pauses in your day where nobody is demanding your attention, that your spirit communicates. You will feel a tug towards certain ideas, certain actions, certain decisions, and it is your job to follow them, even if they don't make sense at first, even if others think you are crazy or out of place. Because the universe, life, creation itself is not random. You are made with a destination in mind. And it is calling you, whispering to you, guiding you. You have to listen. Too often, people spend years trying to figure out their purpose by imitating others. They look at what everyone else is doing, at the lives of the people around them. And they think, if I do that, maybe I'll find me. But here, as the problem, what works for someone else cannot work for you. Because your blueprint is yours and yours alone. Your spirit knows that. And it is screaming at you to stop comparing, stop chasing, stop following. Your calling will never be found in the shadows of someone else as life. It can only be discovered in alignment with your own soul. That is why so many people feel empty even when they have it all. They have money, they have recognition, they have accomplishments, but they are doing someone else. Assignment, not their own. Now, I don't want you to get it twisted. This is not a call to sit and dream. This is not a call to pray for life to happen for you. Purpose is not found in waiting. It is found in action, in listening to the nudges of your spirit and responding to them with courage, discipline, and consistency. You were created with a design, and that design requires activation. Your spirit already knows the way, but your feet have to walk it, your hands have to work it, your mind has to commit to it, and your heart has to trust it. Think about the people who have inspired you in your life. Who do you admire? Who do you look at and say, I want to be like that? I guarantee you, every one of them at some point realized that their life was not random, that their existence had meaning beyond the ordinary, and they decided to listen to the pull inside them rather than the noise outside them. And that decision changed everything. That decision made them unstoppable. That decision made them feel alive in a way that nothing else could. That same spirit, that same potential is inside you. You just have to choose to honor it, to wake up to it, to act on it, and to trust that the direction it points you toward is your unique path. Now, let's talk about fear, because fear is what keeps most people from stepping into their purpose. Fear tells you, you are not ready. You'll fail. You will be laughed at. You might lose what you have. Fear is the voice of the ego trying to keep you in survival mode, But your spirit, the part of you that already knows the way, is not afraid. Your spirit is calling you forward, even if your mind is full of doubt. The question is, will you listen to fear? Or will you listen to your soul? Will you follow the random patterns that life throws at you? Or will you walk the intentional path that has been carved for you? The choice is yours. And every day you delay, every day you doubt, every day you let the noise win. You are choosing to live in randomness instead of purpose. I want you to understand something crucial. Purpose is not just about what you do. Purpose is about who you become in the process. Your spirit knows the path, but walking it will require transformation. It will require patience when the world wants results yesterday. It will require faith when you cannot see the entire picture. It will require endurance when obstacles appear. And it will require humility. Because sometimes purpose will lead you to places you did not expect and to people you did not think you could serve. Your spirit already knows, but your character has to grow to match the calling. You were created with intention, and intention without preparation will never lead to fulfillment. Every decision you make, every habit you form, every thought you entertain either brings you closer to your purpose or pulls you further away from it. Your spirit is not passive. It is an active guide. It is always moving, nudging, pushing, redirecting you toward alignment. But here's the catch. It will never force you. It respects your free will. It will guide, but you must choose to follow. That is why self-awareness is essential. You have to get honest with yourself, with your desires, your distractions, your excuses, and your habits. You have to ask yourself, am I living for the noise? Or am I living for the voice within? Because the moment you start answering that question truthfully, the path will begin to open. And I'm not talking about some abstract spiritual awakening that happens once in a lifetime. I am talking about daily intentional connection. I am talking about waking up every morning and asking, what does my spirit want me to do today? Who does it want me to serve? What lessons am I supposed to learn? Where does it want me to invest my energy? When you start operating like this, everything changes. Your work, your relationships, your struggles, your victories, they all gain clarity and direction. You are no longer a random participant in life. You are a deliberate player. You are moving with purpose, powered by a spirit that already knows the way. You have to realize that purpose is not always convenient. Your spirit might lead you down paths that are uncomfortable, that challenge your ego, that force you to grow. And that is exactly what purpose is supposed to do. Comfort does not create destiny. Ease does not produce fulfillment. Your spirit knows this. That is why it often pushes you into situations that feel hard. Because it knows that through those experiences, you will become aligned with the unique assignment you were created to fulfill. I want you to hear this and really feel it in your bones. The days of wandering aimlessly, following everyone else, living by external expectations, living in fear of judgment, living in confusion, they are over. Your spirit has been waiting for you to wake up. It has been waiting for you to pay attention. It has been waiting for you to take ownership of your life, your direction, your destiny. It already knows the way. All you have to do is start moving, start listening, start trusting, and start acting. The challenge is real. The journey is not easy. The world will resist your awakening. People will question you, doubt you, even ridicule you. But your spirit, the part of you that I always known, is not concerned with the opinions of others. It is concerned with alignment. It is concerned with action. It is concerned with truth. And when you choose to follow it, your life begins to unfold in a way that feels inevitable. Though every step, every encounter, every struggle was designed to prepare you for exactly the place you are meant to be. Let me be real with you for a second. You can have every single thing the world tells you is success, money, status, recognition, titles, power, and still feel empty. You can wake up every morning with your calendar full, your bank account growing, your social media buzzing, and yet your soul feels hollow. And the reason is simple. You have disconnected from your spiritual core. You are running after things the world says matter. And you are ignoring the part of you that actually knows what matters. That part of you, the spiritual essence inside, has been calling your name for years, maybe even decades. But you've been too busy to listen, too distracted, too obsessed with the noise. And because you've ignored it, you've chased after things that cannot fill you, trying to numb the emptiness with external accomplishments, when the real work, the real fulfillment, has always been on the inside. Think about it. How many people have you seen with a lot of success on the outside, but depression, anxiety, frustration, and loneliness on the inside. Why do so many people who have it all still feel like they have nothing? The answer is always the same. Disconnection from their spiritual core. Their spirit, their purpose, the deepest part of who they are, is crying out for alignment, for attention, for devotion. And they have refused to respond. It's like having a GPS in your car, but refusing to follow it. You end up lost, frustrated, and spinning in circles. Your spirit already knows the destination. It knows the direction. It knows the path that will bring you joy, fulfillment, and peace. But when you ignore it, you end up going everywhere except where you were meant to be. And it doesn't matter how fast you go or how much you accumulate. You still feel empty. I need you to understand something critical. External success without internal alignment is nothing but a mirage. It is a beautiful illusion that everyone else admires, but that you feel disconnected from the moment the applause dies down. You might climb the ladder, but if you were not connected to your spiritual core, you are climbing toward a destination that isn't yours. You are running a race you weren't teaming to run, playing a game that is designed for your soul. And you wonder why every victory feels hollow, why every milestone leaves you feeling restless, why every achievement comes with a sense of loneliness or incompleteness. You've been trying to fill a spiritual vacuum with material things, and the universe is waiting for you to get the memo. Now, here, as the truth, reconnecting with your spiritual core is not about religion. It is not about ritual. It is not about perfection. It is about alignment. It's about understanding who you are at your deepest level and making choices that honor the essence. It's about moving from a life dictated by external expectations to a life guided by eternal truth. It's about answering the question, why am I here? And letting that answer shape every decision you make. When you do that, the emptiness disappears. It doesn't mean life becomes easy. It doesn't mean challenges vanish. But it does mean that no matter what comes, you are grounded, centered, and aligned. You are no longer at the mercy of external measures of success. You are guided by something infinitely greater, infinitely wiser, infinitely truer, the voice of your own spirit. Let me break it down even further. Disconnection from your spiritual core manifests in subtle ways before it becomes obvious. You feel restless, even when life looks perfect from the outside. You feel anxious, even when everyone tells you you've made it. You feel unfulfilled, even when your achievements look impressive on paper. You may find yourself constantly chasing more money, more recognition, more power because nothing else satisfies the void. You may feel pressure from society, from peers, from social media to keep up, to perform, to win. And you oblige, thinking that external achievement will finally bring satisfaction. But deep down, your spirit is screaming, this isn't it. Stop chasing what isn't yours. Come back to me. The dissonance between what your spirit knows and what you are doing is the reason for your emptiness. And the sooner you recognize it, the sooner you can begin to change direction. This is why mindfulness, reflection, and spiritual practice are not luxuries, they are necessities. Sitting in silence, journaling, meditating, praying, or simply reflecting on your purpose is how you reconnect. But the key is consistency. The key is honesty. The key is courage. You cannot reconnect by showing up once a month or once a year. Your spirit will not be appeased by superficial gestures. It demands attention. It demands alignment. It demands that you live from the inside out, not the outside in. Once you start doing that, everything changes. The work you do becomes meaningful. The relationships you have become deeper. The victories you earn become sweeter because they are aligned with your core essence. You are no longer a passenger in your own life. You are the driver, guided by the GPS of your soul. I need you to hear me when I say this. No external success can replace internal alignment. You can have the biggest house, the fastest car, the most followers, the highest salary, and still feel hollow. You can feel accomplished on the outside and miserable on the inside. You can look like you, or winning in every way society measures, and still be failing in the ways that matter most. And the reason is always the same. You are out of sync with the part of you that knows the truth, the part of you that was created with purpose, the part of you that has the answers but has been ignored. The world can give you applause, but only your spirit can give you peace. Only your spirit can give you fulfillment. Only your spirit can guide you to a success that feels complete, whole, and real. Let's get real for a moment. Why do people ignore their spiritual core? Why do they disconnect? It is often fear. Fear of what they might find. Fear of failure. Fear of facing uncomfortable truths. Fear of change. People think that if they face themselves fully, they will have to change everything, and that's terrifying. But here's the thing. Staying disconnected is not safe either. Staying disconnected guarantees emptiness, frustration, and a life Live below your potential, facing your spirit, listening to it, aligning with it. That is courage. That is strength. That is the path to a life where success does just look good. It feels good. It's the difference between winning externally but losing internally. And winning both externally and internally, where every achievement resonates with the deepest part of you. You need to realize something. Your spiritual core is not passive. It is active. It is always reaching for you. It is always calling, nudging, pulling, and guiding. It will not force you, but it will always try to communicate. The question is, will you respond? Will you start paying attention? Will you start living intentionally? Will you start making decisions that honor who you are at the deepest level? Because the moment you do, the emptiness starts to disappear. The restlessness that has plagued you begins to fade. The sense of chasing without meaning begins to transform into purposeful action. You start waking up each day with clarity, energy, and determination because your external success is now supported by internal alignment. And here, something I want you to understand clearly, reconnecting with your spiritual core will require sacrifice. It will require letting go of things, habits, relationships, and even beliefs that no longer serve you. It will require honesty, vulnerability, and self-reflection. It requires saying no to distractions and yes to what truly matters. But the payoff is extraordinary. Your life transforms from being a series of random accomplishments to a coherent journey with me. Every step you take is guided. Every action is intentional. Every achievement is satisfying. Every relationship is authentic. Your spiritual alignment becomes the foundation upon which your entire life is built. And suddenly, the emptiness that once defined your success disappears. Let me tell you something right now. And I need you to listen carefully because this is where most people fail. You want results. You want success, recognition, growth, money, power, but you are looking in the wrong place. You are looking at external things before you've built the internal foundation. And that is why most people work hard, grind every day, push through exhaustion, and still feel stuck. Spiritual discipline must come first, before the money, before the promotion, before the recognition, before the applause. You cannot skip the internal work and expect external results to sustain you, to fulfill you, to last. It doesn't work like that. The universe operates on order, on principle, on alignment. If your inner life is chaotic, undisciplined, uncommitted, disconnected, then the external life you build will reflect that chaos, that lack of focus, that inconsistency. You will achieve, yes, but it will be hollow, temporary, fragile, and soon it will collapse under pressure because it was never built on the right foundation. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, and spiritual discipline is the core of that bridge. You must train your mind, your spirit, your heart before you chase the external validation of the world. You must understand that results are not the starting point. They are the byproduct. They are the harvest, not the seed. And if you try to harvest without planning, if you try to reap without sowing, if you chase the visible without committing to the invisible, you'll be frustrated, disappointed, and disillusioned. Most people spend their lives chasing outcomes while neglecting the inner work. And that is why they wake up each morning feeling empty despite all their accomplishments. You must reverse the order. Spiritual discipline first, results second. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I don't have time for that. I need results now. I need recognition now. I need success now. I hear you. But let me be honest, anyone who tries to shortcut spiritual discipline will pay the price. Spiritual discipline is not optional. It is non-negotiable. It is the engine that drives the machine of your life. Without it, all external achievements are like sandcastles on the shore, beautiful for a moment, but vulnerable to the first wave, the first challenge, the first storm. Your spirit, your inner self, your values, your character, they must be strong, consistent, disciplined, and aligned before the external world can reflect sustainable success. So what is spiritual discipline? It is daily commitment to what truly matters. It is consistency when no one is watching. It is devotion to your purpose, your principles, your integrity, your faith. It is developing habits that nurture your mind, strengthen your heart, expand your awareness, and connect you to something greater than yourself. Spiritual discipline is not easy because it asks you to do what is uncomfortable, to prioritize the invisible over the visible, to act in faith rather than in immediate gratification. It requires patience, persistence, and an understanding that the work you do internally may not show up externally for a long time, but it is laying the foundation for results that are lasting, meaningful, and fulfilling. I need you to understand something very clearly. The world will try to convince you that results come first. Advertisements, social media influencers, peers, even family, they will all tell you, look at what they have, follow their formula, chase that prize, get that promotion, achieve that status. And many people obey this lie, trying to mimic someone else. External success while neglecting the internal work. But the truth is simple and unchanging. Results that are not built on spiritual discipline are unstable. They are fragile. They are temporary. They will crumble when life tests you. But results that come from a foundation of discipline, focus, integrity, and purpose, they endure. They grow. They multiply. They carry meaning, fulfillment, and peace with them. Think about it this way. A tree cannot produce fruit before it has deep roots. The soil, the water, the sunlight, the nutrients, all of that comes first. The fruit is a byproduct of the inner work that has been happening beneath the surface, often unseen, often unnoticed. Your life works the same way. Your spiritual discipline is the root system. Your external results are the fruit. And if you try to pick fruit from a tree that has no roots, it will wither. The tree may look full for a moment, but it will collapse under pressure because the foundation is missing. You must nurture your inner life, deepen your roots, and strengthen your core before you expect your external life to flourish. Now, let's be honest, spiritual discipline requires sacrifice. It requires saying no to distractions, to instant gratification, to social validation. It requires waking up when you would rather sleep. It requires working on yourself when no one else is watching. It requires patience when the world wants immediate results. And most importantly, it requires faith that the work you do internally will manifest externally even if you cannot see it yet. Discipline is often invisible at first, but it compounds over time. And when it does, when it manifests in your life, the results are not only visible, they are transformative. The truth is, your external life is a mirror of your inner life. If your thoughts are scattered, your actions inconsistent, your spirit undisciplined, your results will reflect that chaos. If your heart is divided, your priorities unclear, your habits misaligned, your success will feel hollow. But when your internal world is strong, disciplined, focused, and aligned, your external results naturally follow. Discipline is the law, the principle, the structure. Results are the consequence, the evidence, the reward. The order cannot be reversed. The moment you try to put results first, you are building on sand and life will test that foundation. Let me give you a real world example. Think about elite athletes. Do you think the ones who win championships or break records do it by focusing only on the accolades? No. They focus on the discipline, the early mornings, the extra workouts, the study of the game, the nutrition, the mental preparation. They focus on doing the things no one else is willing to do consistently. And the results, championships, trophies, recognition come later. Discipline first, results second. Spiritual discipline works the same way, but on a deeper, more essential level. It shapes your character, strengthens your resilience, sharpens your focus, and aligns you with your purpose. Once you have that, external success is inevitable because you are ready for it. I need you to hear this. Many people fail not because they are incapable, not because they lack talent, but because they are chasing the wrong order. They chase results first. They chase fame first. They chase validation first. They chase recognition first. And they think that success will change them. That wealth will fulfill them. That status will complete them. But it does not. It cannot. Because the missing ingredient is internal discipline, spiritual alignment, and purpose-driven action. You must reverse the order. You must commit to the internal work first. You must honor the principles, values, and habits that prepare you for the external life you desire. Spiritual discipline also teaches you patience. It teaches you that results are not always immediate. It teaches you to trust the process, to trust the internal work, and to understand that the external manifestation of your efforts is a reflection of what you have built internally. Without discipline, impatience grows, frustration grows, doubt grows, and people quit. But with discipline, patience becomes natural, perseverance becomes instinct, and faith in the unseen becomes a way of life. Results eventually follow because the foundation has been strengthened over time. You must understand that this is not just a philosophy. It is a principle that governs life itself. Every successful person, every impactful leader, every person who has achieved lasting fulfillment has understood this. They have prioritized internal discipline over external results. They've invested in their character, their mind, their spirit, and their habits before expecting external manifestation. They have worked on themselves relentlessly, consistently, and intentionally, knowing that the fruit of their labor would follow. And it always does. The universe rewards preparation. It honors discipline. It aligns with consistency. Results are never first. They are the inevitable outcome of internal mastery, spiritual commitment, and disciplined action. Let me tell you something right now. And I need you to hear me loud and clear, because this is where most people fail in life. Too many people talk about their purpose, they dream about their calling, they pray and hope and visualize, but they never move. They never take action. And here's the problem. Belief without action is nothing but fantasy. It is empty. It is weak. It is useless. You can believe with all your heart that you were created for greatness, that you were born with a mission, that you have a calling that is meant to impact the world. But your hands, your feet, your energy, your time, and your discipline do not match that belief. It will never manifest. Your calling demands action, not just belief. It demands that you get off the sidelines of your own life and start playing the game with intensity, focus, and relentless commitment. Belief is important. I'm not saying don't believe. Belief is the spark, the ignition, the foundation. But if belief does not produce movement, if belief does not translate into doing, it dies inside you. And too many people fall into this trap. They read books about purpose. They listen to motivational speeches. They nod along. They post quotes online, and they walk away thinking that somehow belief alone will carry them to their destiny. It won T. Your calling does not care about your feelings, your opinions, or your hope. It only responds to your action. It only honors the work you do. It only rewards the energy you invest, the risks you take, and the persistence you demonstrate in showing up every day and doing what needs to be done even when it is hard, even when it is uncomfortable, even when nobody is watching. Let's be clear. The world is full of believers who never act. They talk about changing the world, but they never leave their comfort zone. They talk about impact, but they never take responsibility. They talk about destiny, but they never endure the struggle. And that's why most people as dreams die before they ever become reality. Belief is cheap. Action is expensive. Action requires sacrifice. Action requires discipline. Action requires courage. And if you are not willing to pay that price, your calling will remain dormant, your purpose will remain unrealized, and your life will feel unfulfilled no matter how much you believe. Here, that's the truth. Action transforms belief into reality. Action is the bridge between your dreams and your destiny. You can pray. You can visualize. You can meditate. You can speak affirmations every morning, but if you do not move, if you do not hustle, if you do not take consistent, deliberate, purposeful steps toward your calling, nothing changes. Action activates the universe, creates momentum. Action transforms potential into performance, and your calling is the reason you were born. The purpose that is unique to you will only respond to action. Now, I want to be honest with you. Taking action is not easy. That's why so many people fail. Action requires stepping into the unknown. Action requires facing fear. Action requires risking failure, rejection, criticism, and disappointment. Action requires persistence when the results are not immediate. But here, the kick of this is exactly why action is non-negotiable. Because the only way your calling can be fulfilled is if you are willing to move forward, even when the path is uncertain, even when it is difficult, even when it is uncomfortable. Comfort will kill your calling. Waiting will kill your calling. Belief without doing will kill your calling. You must act. You must step up. You must go all in. Let me break it down even further. Action does not always mean giant leaps. Sometimes action means showing up consistently, doing the small things every day, riding when nobody's watching, and honoring your commitments. Action is cumulative. It is consistent effort over time. It is refusing to quit when obstacles appear. It is turning every no into a step closer to a yes. It is enduring criticism, overcoming self-doubt, and proving to yourself every day that your belief is not idle, it is alive, fueled by relentless doing. Action is the muscle that strengthens belief and turns it into a tangible force in the world. Here's the truth most people don't want to face. The world will not reward your belief. The world does not see your intentions, your dreams, or your heart. The world responds to results. The world responds to action. The world responds to people who show up, who grind, who take risks, who endure, who refuse to quit. You can sit home believing you are destined for greatness. But if you never act, if you never risk, if you never endure, that greatness will remain invisible, unrealized, and unclaimed. Your calling demands that you step into the arena and fight for it, that you put in the work when everyone else sleeps, that you move forward when others hesitate, and that you persist when others quit. Action is also about courage. It is about facing fear head on and moving anyway. Fear is natural. Doubt is natural. Uncertainty is natural. But if you let them dictate your behavior, if you wait for fear to disappear, if you wait for doubt to vanish, your calling will never be fulfilled. The people who succeed, the people who change the world, are not those without fear. They are those who act in spite of fear. They take risks. They embrace discomfort, they endure struggle, and they refuse to let hesitation rob them of their destiny. Action turns fear into fuel, doubt into determination, and uncertainty into opportunity. Let's talk about consistency. Action is not a one-time event. You cannot act once and expect your calling to manifest fully. You must show up day after day with relentless consistency. You must do the work, even when you don't feel like it. Even when results are slow, even when progress seems invisible, action compounds over time. Every step you take, every effort you make, every small decision you commit to builds momentum, and that momentum becomes unstoppable. That is why consistent action is more powerful than occasional bursts of inspiration. Belief alone will not sustain you. Only discipline, repeated action will. Think about the people who inspire you the most. Do you think they achieved greatness because they believed in themselves? Partially, yes, but mostly they achieved greatness because they acted. They worked. They risked. They failed and got back up. They were relentless in their pursuit. Belief without action never produces results. Action without belief can produce temporary outcomes. But belief combined with action produces unstoppable momentum, undeniable results, and lasting impact. You must also understand that action requires accountability. You cannot act in isolation and expect results. You must measure your efforts, evaluate your progress, seek guidance, and remain committed to improvement. Action without reflection becomes busy work. Action without learning becomes repetitive mistakes. Action without growth becomes stagnant. But when you pair action with accountability, feedback, and continuous learning, your calling begins to unfold with precision and power. And here's something crucial. Action transforms identity. When you act consistently, you start becoming the person who can fulfill your calling. You are not just moving toward your purpose, you are becoming it. Your habits, your choices, your discipline, your endurance, they shape your character. And your character is the vehicle for your destiny. Belief may spark the journey, but action builds the vehicle. Without action, the journey stalls. Without action, your calling waits. Without action, your dreams fade. I want to remind you that action also requires sacrifice. You may have to give up comfort, convenience, and old habits. You may have to endure criticism, isolation, and rejection. You may have to risk failure, face uncertainty, and keep going when it would be easier to quit. But this is the price of turning belief into reality. Your calling will not honor your excuses, your delays, or your fears. It only honors movement, effort, and relentless commitment. Let me speak directly to you. And I need you to hear me right now, because this is the moment that separates those who succeed from those who only dream. Too many people spend their lives talking about what they want to do, what they are going to do, what they should do, what they could do, and yet they never move. They post about their goals. They write their vision boards. They talk to friends and family about the plans they have for the future. But the truth is, talking does nothing. Not a single thing changes until you walk the path. 26 is calling you to stop talking and start doing. To stop fantasizing and start executing, to stop planning endlessly and start moving intentionally. This is your year to step into your purpose, to live in alignment, to stop being a spectator in your own life and start being the player who makes things happen. The problem with talking without action is that it creates an illusion of progress. You feel like you are moving because you are talking, because you are thinking, because you are planning, but nothing has changed. The world does not care about your plans, your ideas, your speeches, or your promises. The world cares about results, about execution, about commitment, about action. If you want 2026 to be different, you cannot spend it merely talking. You must walk. You must move. You must show up every day with energy, focus, and determination to step into your path. Words without action are cheap. Without words is powerful. And action backed by belief and discipline is unstoppable. Think about it. How many times have you promised yourself that you would start? How many times have you declared to the world, this is the year? Only to end the year in the same place, stuck, frustrated, overwhelmed, and disappointed. Why does this happen? Because talking never equals doing. Saying it does not mean you are living it. Planning does not mean progress. Vision boards do not mean victory. Your path is not revealed by words. It is walked by feet. And 2026 is asking you, demanding you to take that first step. And then the next and the next until momentum carries you forward. Here, as the truth most people ignore, the world is full of talkers. It is full of people who dream, people who wish, people who hope, people who pretend to act. But talkers never reach their potential. They never achieve their goals. They never fulfill their purpose. Why? Because they are stuck in the mindset of talking. They are comfortable in their fantasies, in their excuses, in the idea of, I will do it someday. Meanwhile, the doers, the walkers, the people who actually step onto the path are the ones who change their lives, impact the world, and create legacies. Action separates the talkers from the doers. And 12-6 is the year you must choose to be a doer. Walking the path requires courage. It requires showing up even when the outcome is uncertain. It requires taking risks that feel uncomfortable, scary, and even impossible. Most people want to walk a safe path. The path of convenience. The path of comfort. But comfort never leads to greatness. Comfort keeps you stuck, keeps you small, keeps you talking instead of walking. Purpose, destiny, and success demand movement. They demand risk. They demand courage. They demand that you step into the fire, face your fears, endure struggle, and keep moving forward when the world tells you to quit. To walk the path, you must be willing to leave your comfort zone behind and embrace the challenge of growth. Consistency is key. Walking the path is not a single act. It is not a one-time decision. It is a daily commitment to showing up, doing the work, and moving forward, even when it feels hard. It is waking up every morning with the determination to take the next step, no matter how small, no matter how insignificant it may feel in the moment. Consistent action compounds over time. Every choice, every step, every effort builds momentum, shapes your character, strengthens your discipline, and brings you closer to your destination. Talking may make you feel good temporarily, but consistent action changes your life permanently. You must also understand that walking the path requires sacrifice. You will have to give up distractions, old habits, and comfort. You will have to endure criticism, doubt, and even loneliness. Some people will not understand why you are moving the way you are moving, why you are pursuing your calling with intensity, why you are dedicated to walking your path. They will question you. They will doubt you. They may even try to pull you back into talking without doing. But you must stay committed. You must keep walking. Sacrifice is the price of progress. Sacrifice is the cost of alignment. Sacrifice is the bridge between dreaming and achieving. And let us talk about fear for a moment. Fear will try to stop you from walking the path. Fear will whisper in your ear, you are not ready, you might fail, you could be rejected, it's too risky. Fear is natural. Fear is human. But fear is not your enemy, it is your signal. Fear is proof that you are moving beyond your comfort zone, stepping into growth, stepping into your purpose, stepping into your destiny. You must walk anywhere. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is walking the path in spite of fear. And every step you take in courage builds confidence, momentum, and clarity. Here is the harsh truth. Talking is cheap, but walking the path is expensive. It costs time, energy, focus, and persistence. It costs pushing through failure, enduring setbacks, and staying committed when progress seems invisible. But here is the beauty. Walking the path transforms you. Every step, every challenge, every obstacle, every decision, every sacrifice shapes your character, strengthens your spirit, and aligns you with your purpose. And that transformation is the foundation for the results you see. Success, fulfillment, impact, and peace are byproducts of walking the path, not merely thinking about it, dreaming about it, or talking about it. Let's take a closer look at discipline. Walking the path requires structure, routines, and relentless focus. You cannot walk a path without clarity about your steps. You cannot move forward without prioritizing what matters most. You cannot reach your destination if your energy is scattered across distractions, obligations, and people who do not align with your purpose. Discipline creates the conditions for consistent movement. Discipline allows you to follow through when motivation fades. Discipline bridges the gap between desire and achievement, between talking and doing, between dreaming and reality. You must understand the principle of accountability. Walking the path requires honesty with yourself. You must confront your excuses, your fears, your doubts, and your procrastination. You must evaluate your actions daily and ask yourself, am I walking or am I only talking? The path demands self-reflection, correction, and persistence. It demands that you own your journey, your failure, your setbacks, and your triumphs. No one else can walk it for you. Your calling cannot be delegated. Your purpose cannot be outsourced. Walking the path is personal, intimate, and requires ownership. Action also teaches you resilience. The moment you step onto your path, obstacles appear. Resistance is natural. Challenges are inevitable. Failures will occur. But each step you take in the face of adversity strengthens you, builds character, and prepares you for the next challenge. The path is not smooth. It is meant to test your commitment, your discipline, and your belief. Walking the path shapes your identity. Every action, every risk, every struggle, and every small victory is evidence that you are capable of fulfilling your purpose. Here's another truth. Walking the path inspires others. Talkers may motivate temporarily, but doers change the world. Your actions ripple. Your steps influence. Your courage empowers. When people see you living intentionally, moving relentlessly, persevering through struggle, they are inspired to act. Your journey becomes more than just your own. It becomes a testament, a model, a legacy. Walking the path transforms not only your life, but the lives of those around you. And let's be honest, 2026 is not waiting for you. It is moving forward with or without you. Opportunities are fleeting. Time is relentless. Life does not pause while you talk, plan, dream, or wait. If you want this year to be different, you must move. You must walk. You must act. You must commit to the journey fully, wholeheartedly, and with urgency. The path is ready, the timing is now, and the choice is yours. Words alone will not get you there. Dreams alone will not get you there. Faith without works will not get you there. Only walking the path consistently, courageously, and intentionally will.